the detail. President Yoweri Museveni has received a special message from the King of Eswatini, Maswati III. The message was conveyed by Eswatini Prince Lindani Nkosi during a sideline meeting of the African parliamentarians at State House Entebbe. Prince Lindani's visit to Uganda coincided with his participation in the second African Inter-Parliamentary Conference, which concluded last Friday. During the conference, Sarah Opendi, the conference chair, acknowledged Prince Lindani's presence and underscored the significance of King Mswati's message to President Museveni. In a bid to foster stronger ties between the two countries, Eswatini in 2020 established a consulate for the first time in Uganda. Member Democratic Change FDC in Hoima City have endorsed the idea of forming a new political party following leadership wrangles that split FDC into FDC Najanankumbi and FDC Katonga Road factions. The idea of a new political party is currently being championed by the FDC Katonga Road faction, led by Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago and Dr. Kiza Besigye, who are conducting countrywide consultations. Aziz Kalyegira, the FDC General Secretary in Hoima City, in a statement read to FDC supporters at a rally held at Hoima Boma Grounds, North John, had a mention of a new party. He reveals that the party members across Bunyoro sub-region say they are ready to welcome their fellows from the Najanankumbi faction if they reconcile and ensure the democratic roles are played well.
Yitoka FDC tukugamba bagenzi baita barugira muramwa batangira kukora nabo nobembembezi oba FDC obagumirwe urukurato urukuru oruyanga umutwe cya FDC kandi nirubatira musingi gwa demokrasi tukugamba kakuba bagenzi baitubanu batayetero kifuba bakaija tukakuwataniza tukagaruka muramwa itwe tituli nabo nabwekyo tukusagika nekitekereze ki abantu bengi abagamba nti barugira muramwa tukole ekisinde rundi ekitebe ekiyaka batekaka kwakulizo nti ekitebe kiyaka kakuba kirakorwa tukuyikiraniza kandi hanyuma yokusaba kebemberwe atari muntu ondi nondi oyiroho retired kano Dr. Kiza Besigye ali founder wa FDC agende omaiso nokuturembera okuyika butwahika hamuramwa kutatandikira ekitebe kino One Uganda.
Nyakato Asinans, the woman MP for Hoima City, says Bunyoro has pressing issues that have not been worked on, citing land grabbing, high taxes and poor service delivery in the education and health sectors.
Land grabbing, where people's lands have been grabbed, where people are being illegally evicted from their lands, and oil having become a curse to the people of Bunyoro. Truly, they have made the good roads, but the good roads, our people are not benefiting from there. Our people, instead of benefiting from the oil, instead their land is being grabbed. Bunyoro, as a region, for the last 40 years, we have failed to get a public university from the NRM government. So, what Dr. Kiza Besigye is doing is not just about talking about FDC, but reviving people's hopes.
Meanwhile, Dr. Kiza Besigye has accused the FDC Najanankumbi faction of choosing to work with President Museveni and forgetting the struggle and common foe.
The message that we have is more or less the same as we have been delivering in all the other regions of the country, which is about liberation. All the problems that the country faces at a personal level, at institutional levels, are all emanating from who have no power, that all the power within the card, whatever lands in their pocket, immediately flies out through taxes. And yet services are never
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Monk, has directed the Minister for Disaster Preparedness to work closely with the House Committee on Budget to avail resources for disaster response. Amongst directive yesterday follows meteorological reports that predict that heavy rains currently affecting Kenya and Tanzania will likely. The House has expressed the importance of prepared for disasters considering the changing climate. Parts of Uganda suffered lands that occurred in Kasese and Bunyangabo districts. The Office of the President, through the Manifesto Implementation Unit MIU, is set to update Ugandans on the progress of the implementation of the NRM Manifesto for 2021-2026. This was revealed by Willis Bashasha, the MIU director, who says that these updates will be done during the Manifesto Week, which will commence on 14th this month. He notes that implementers, specifically the ministers and permanent secretary, which is an annual government accountability activity. The week also gives the government a chance to make it. On the international scene, the Kremlin says that the military exercises ordered by Russian President Vladimir Putin were in response to statements by the Western and NATO member countries about sending troops into Ukraine, which Russia invaded more than 2 years ago. Russia's strategic nuclear forces regularly hold exercises, but the statement marked the first public announcement of drills involving tactical nuclear weapons. The move marks an escalation of tensions that have risen since French President Emmanuel Macron said last week that his country would consider sending group troops at Ukraine if Kyiv requests backup. A day later, UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron said Ukraine could use British weapons against targets inside Russia if it wanted. Russian officials condemned both statements and warned Moscow would retaliate to what they called a dangerous escalation trend. As I wind up the news, a look up at the top stories. President Museveni receives a special message from King Mswati. Hoima City FDC supporters endorse formation of new political party. A speaker among directs Minister on disaster response budget, and Russia announces nuclear weapon drills after provocative Western threats. It is 10 minutes past 1 p.m. and that was the news read to you by Priscilla ASABA. Stay tuned and have a good lunch.
From all over the world, local, regional, national and international, Kdr FM brings you all the stories. Kdr FM News, World's proudly sponsored by MTN.
Paka okumuho bando ye dakika message round MBs ezikuja mu sente zawe zoine mega star *not star *# round kosa app ya my MTN kutunga bando za paka twine habo abantu bona habo kuba obutukuba hamu usaheki kutulema MTN emikore n'emigenzo nibihonderwa MTN